Hello guys, I am Juan from JUAN Reviews and this is my review of Maximilian's Elevation. Okay, so I think Maximilian's Elevation is fat and retarded because he is fat and retarded and doesn't have a thread raper to edit JUAN Reviews, and he loves Pac-Man, which is retarded because Mario is cooler, which is my favorite FNAF fan game next to Five Naughty and The Return to Freddy's 3, Windows XP Edition, The Return to Freddy's 4, Arch 64 Edition, The Return to Freddy's 2, Windows 98 Edition, The Return to Freddy's, Windows 95 Edition, The Return to Freddy's 5, Arch 64 Edition, Frankbert's, Arch 64 Edition, Radsla, Arch 64 Edition and Oblides Gossip. So anyway guys, Vaporon was playing Pac-Man because he is fat and retarded and he sighed MMMM1. I love Pac-Man and not Mario, like the creepypasta, because Maximized Electrician is a loser like 5 Horrors at Loser Island by JFun3000 because he only had 4 stars and Super Mario 64 build 3313 and I had 121 because Juan is awesome and swag balling. This is my favorite FNAF fan game because it was Mattered Motor and his twin brother Gary Wang from Nintendo, and it is 64-bit like the Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 SoC, which has an ARM CPU because I love ARM. As I was playing build 3313 I was in the fake lobby and I accidentally ground pounded the floor like John Chrome's and I broke the floor, which reminded me of Solumpus Lorne because he is so big and fat and eats 1,000,000 trillion pizzas from Pizza Tower because he is retarded, and best friends with Pizza Face because he is crowist. As I was falling it took me to Solumpus Lord's maze, which is where he keeps the password for Luminance Game Jolt, but it was guarded by dismantled Rodney and Larry Silverstein. This was very bad because I could not escape, so they killed me before I could get the password. It was very scary and I never went to the fake lobby again because it was removed in the final game, and Solumpus Lord's hideout in the fake lobby was removed because he was too fat and took up on zettabyte on the cartridge. I pressed the start button and then the A button to go to beta lobby, but this is the worst lobby, so I looked into the ceiling and then pressed again to go to the beta lobby C, which has a 3 on the left door, so I went to that door into beta lobby D and then climbed the steps to go into the plagues lobby, and then I went to where the big boo and pipe was, and it took me to the vanilla lobby, which is cancer because Toad is fucking retarded and asked me if I could hear screaming, which was not true because I have audiophile quality headphones and the cord test. Quest is a standalone DAC whose performance belies its compact dimensions. With DAC architecture based on the award-winning Hugo 2, Quest offers class-leading digital conversion. Quest is our pure DAC. It does not contain headphone amplification or rechargeable batteries like some of its range stablemates, and is designed to improve sound quality in the home. It is the latest evolution of our most affordable standalone DAC, the multi-award-winning 2, which it directly replaces. Test, which is what Hi-Fi's best DAC, £500, £1,500, and a what Hi-Fi best DAC winner every year its inception, 2018 to 2022, is a proven class leader and is based on our award-winning proprietary FPGA technology developed for the class-leading Hugo 2 DAC headphone amp, giving it proven class-leading technical and sonic performance, perfectly equipped to bring the benefits our digital technology to a wide range of connected devices. It features a galvanically isolated USB-B, optical and coaxial digital input, giving an instant performance upgrade, plus the ability to modernize aging digital source components. So anyway, I went to the staircase into the purple upstairs, which is the most super secretest area in the game and is where the poop shigler lives. He can only be found in the full game by performing the shigolage, which involved putting your testicles in a paper shredder and eating French-Canadian poutine fries. This will unlock the purple upstairs in the full game, but his consequences could be dire, like Dire from Luminance Productions but not Dire from Dire Docs because it is unoptimized and did not have compiler optimizations turned on like Kane Wadmer, who optimized Mario 64 with the C programming language. As I entered the purple upstairs I smelled a smelly smell that was not anchovies but instead it was poop-flavored pizza, which could only mean one thing. Swirly had entered the purple upstairs. This was not good because he is best friends with the poop shigler. Full name is the Pushargling Weed Shigling Pushigler. They both love eating poop and smoking weed, but the poop shiggler is the #1 poop fan. This was very bad and not good because I needed to go to Bowser's hallway, which is on the 3rd floor of the purple upstairs. I could hear Swirly and the poop shiggler shiggling around, which was very scary, so I had to call Cerno from Inland and Pillarjaw. We snuck around the purple upstairs' staircase, but the poop shiggler and Swirly had us, so we had to flee to the vanillan upstairs, which can be accessed by jumping into the painting next to the staircase. Pillar John was very nice and he blocked the painting so the poop shiggler could not enter, but he told us they were headed to Peach's cell and then the Eternal Fort, which is very bad because we needed to go to Peach's cell and the Eternal Fort. We went back to the Plague's lobby, which fucking sucks, and I give 0/10 because it is unoptimized and runs like a severely undervolted testicle. We went to the Genesis basement to mug the poop shiggler and Swirly, so we went to the 4th floor and jumped into the pipe. We had Cerno from Inland press the button because cooler, and we could not risk dying because he is 10/10 and not 2/10 like MaximumElevapor and 8/10 like Cerno. So anyway, she pressed the yellow switch and she sighed choo choo muni muni mori mora purin boron nuru riro, but I did not know what this meant because Cerno from Inland speaks in moon runes because she is retarded, because Japanese people use never twice the same color, which is retarded because my standard Super NTSC is much better and is support 640 lines and 60 FPS. But then we realized the twist. The personalized eye was actually Soslo Umpus Lornd, and he had been freed from the fake lobby, which was very bad because he was going to destroy the TRTF3 Windows XP Edition MFA. So we had to reroute and freeze the MFA so Swamp Lord could not break it. All hope was lost until Roger Waters showed up and he gave us all a copy of the final cut on the compact disc signed by him, and mine was also signed by Gina from 5 Nights at the AGK Studio 4, which Mr. Matthew got cancelled because Jaden was not swag enough to handle Mr. Matthew's retard radiation, and he is a fat fucking retard and ruined my favorite fan game series. Roger Waters then left back to Bongland and sighed good luck John, I love build 3313 and hate Swirly goodbye. With this newfound hope we left the 4th floor, which is awesome and swag because it plays the 4th floor song, which is swag balling like 2 Insta Games 95, and I give it 10/10. When we were back in the Genesis basement we left to the castle grounds and not the altered castle grounds because that level is where Joe Biden and Sus Olympus Lore smoke super alien lean, which makes his Lorm forget how to code TRTF3 for Windows XP. So anyway, we went to the Crescent Castle in the back, which is swag balling and awesome, and it is GR8M8IR888 because it leads to the dark lobby, which kinda reminds me of Toonster's house before he painted it with crack infused paint, and it also leads to Bowser's floor, which leads to Peach's cell, which is where we need to go. So we used our wand powers in the final cut signed by Roger Waters and Gina from the AGK studio to run to the painting with the sky and clouds and stuff, which led us to Bowser's floor. There were traces of poop, which means the poop shiggler had been there and was shiggling around, which was not good. We had to hurry to Peach's cell before it was too late. Bowser's floor fucking sucks because Peach's floor is much better, and Bowser kinda looks like the Donghongler who is friends with Soslo Umpus Lore, and he is retarded because he needs to finish coding the Return to Freddy's 3 Windows XP edition, so I rate Bowser's floor a 4 because the Toad statues has shiny materials, which kinda reminds me of the Return to Freddy's Razzla and Juan's trademark car paint materials, which are protected under copyright law, so it was awesome and swag, and I love the cobbled stone texture that kinda looks like Mint's Raft. As we had to hurry we ran into the double doors in the front to Bowser's prison, which fucking sucks because it is darker than William's farts. For reference, look at the air exchange, which is also in build 3313. This forced me to turn up the brightness on my cathode ray tube television set, which fucking sucks because it made the game look like shit and wasted time. We ran into the doors at the end into Bowser's throne and stood on it until we got teleported to Peach's floor, which is much better and not retarded because it leads to the Eternal Fort and Peach's cell. This level is awesome because the skybox and outside is cool and awesome, and it was very charmed, but the cracks on the wall remind me of Donnie's house for no particular reason. The floor texture sucked, which is cringe and not cool like the other floor textures, because in the Playsal basement there is a room that has red and black tiles and brown walls, which is obviously a reference to 6 horrors, because Tuhuniboth is in build 3313 but he is retarded because Tuhunisuit is much cooler and he is 10/10 and almost like Peach's floor because it is 9/10 because the floor texture sucks. So then we went into the pipe outside. This was it. The almost grand finale, and then I turned down the brightness back to normal because it looked like a There's No Sick game, which all looked like shit. After we entered the pipe it was scary like Matthew Carey but scarier. Because it was all dark, but Cerno from Inland told us to follow the poop trail, so he did, and this led us to Peach's cell, which is awesome and very scary like build 3313. But then Peach was not, and she was not in cell because she was not. This was very bad because the cell was covered in poop, which means we were too late, which was a 0-10 because Juan is awesome and he cannot lose. But then Roger Waters and Toon Suit came and Roger said, do not worry Juan, it is never too late, like who's sorry now ? It's never too late, which is awesome and swag, and I rate 10/10, but I do not rate the Eternal Cell 10/10. Tony Suit said I'm ever so sorry now because he accidentally invited David Gilmour to his Pink Floyd fan club, which made Roger very mad, and then he sang who's sorry now. It's never too late for us. As we went into Peach's cell, Cerno from Manalain made a nice brag to the stars because the platforming in this is age like Queen Gumball. This made Ganon, who lived in the Eternal Cell and guarded the star, very mad, but it was okay because Tony Suit used his 1 gigawatt flashlight and brought light into his lair because Tony Suit was imifring his laser, which matted Ganon molding, and he got mugged to awful Anzio, which can be found in the Playsal basement under the pipe trap. This leads you to the Roger Waters painting, which leads to awful Anzio, which has the stars for course 16. We collected the star and it teleported us to the destroyed castle ruins, which is very cool and awesome because it leads to the Eternal Fort and looks very scary and awesome, so I rate 10/10. The water was brown because the poop shiggler had been there, so we had Cerno freeze the water so we could walk across with Tony Suit so he wouldn't discharge his capacitors like cathode ray tube televisions, because he has a built-in CRT that is used to instant death ray Nasty Nelson in particular because he really hates Nasty Nelson. After we reached the piece of rubble with the pipe, we looked at Peach's painting, which looked retarded because it was a JPEG kinda like J Plays from 5FNAF's multiplayer. We jumped into the pipe and landed on the haunted castle grounds, which was very dark and red, kinda like Five Nights at Red Island but cooler because the haunted castle grounds is a human swag because it has the pipe to the Eternal Fort, and the Toad statue is decapitates because I hate Toad because he said that my sound card was shit because he is a fat retard, and I rate 0/10, but I rate the haunted castle grounds a 10/10 because it is scary and awesome and cool and awesome because it was playing Numa Numa but in reverse in the background. We stood in front the door and prepared. There were lots of poop marks, and Roger Waters floated down from the sky one last time and he said, Juan, you must prepare yourself and rescue the princes and save the final cut so it will be the best-selling Pink Floyd album. He enhanced our copies of the final cut that had helped us with our journeys into gold compact discs, which can only be played on tube amplifiers because it would explode solid-state amplifiers. He left once again and we were on our own. This was it, the final level. We were almost at the finish line, like push it to the limit from Crack Life. There was a lot of platforming that I did not want to do, but overall the randomized drone was awesome and cool because it was very charm and awesome, so it is 8/10 but not 10/10 because the Eternal Fort was cooler and swag. Cerno from Italy used her fairy powers to fly us to the pipe, which made the poop shiggler and Swirly very angry because we cheesed the level, which was awesome because I hate the poop shiggler, so I give Cerno a 10/10 and the randomized drone 9 because we trolled the poop shiggler. As we arrived into the Eternal Fort, the poop shiggler was almost done shiggling his evil plans but had been foiled due to our early arrival. We saw Peach in the cage and she was playing Quake 4 on a Power PC computer, which is not as cool as ARM. The poop shiggler stated this. Juan and Cerno and Tony Suit prepare to get shiggled. As he said this, Swirly was recording a new video to make 1,000,000 trillion Cromer. Then did his impression of the poop shiggler, and this did 2,000,000 hit points, which made the poop shiggler very angry. He stated, "One, you leave me no choice," and then he summoned Squidward, which was not scary, but then Squidward loosed it and he says it was very scary when he loosed it. The poop shiggler had turned on SV_cheats1 and let Squidward know clip. It was very scary and impression did not work because he was lost it, but there was not kill. We used our signed copies of the final cut with golden CDs and then used the swag radiation on Squidward to unloose him and Squidward's house, which was also there. This was very effective like Pokemon. He was sent back to Radiance HQ to be summoned another day, and then the poop shiggler said, "Arguan, you will pay for this." So then Scarface from Scarface came and he started playing Push It to the Limit from Crack Life on the Eternal Fort CD player and DAC combo unit. The DAC was good but not as good as mine because it was compressed and not using tube amplifitronics. Then it was kinda like Crack Life because the poop shiggler was launching poop grenades and summoning people who we didn't like Phasey Funbear. I was tasked with using the Super NTSC Alien Lean Beam on the poop shiggler and it was very intense and awesome. Cerno was tasked with cleaning up his goons but not like the Gooner because he is not in build 3313 but instead only in 6 Horrors 4. Did impressions of Swirly, which was also very effective, and we were very close to winning, which made the poop shiggler mauled because we were piss sniggling, which the poop shiggler hates because he loves poop and also hates Alien Lean, which we smoked with Joe Biden in Area 51. Had successfully dealt with Swirly because he was so fat that he went to get food from burger entries. We then covered the poop stash with Alien Lean, which dealt critical damage to the poop shiggler and it made him maulder. We thought we were close, but it was not over yet as Sulumpus Lurm had arrived. He was the master eye all along and he personalized the Eternal Fort to use Octane, which is retarded because Cycles was better. The poop shiggler loves Octane, which is not good because it gives him power, but then so Umpus World personalized the poop shiggler and sent him back to the purple upstairs. We had to kill Swamp Universe before he hoarded the TRTF3 MFA and personalized it, which was next to Peach's cell. Pillar John came back and he sat on the frozen MFA that Cerno froze so Slow Implore couldn't hoard it. We used all of our combined powers to destroy Slow Implored and created Super Duper Alien Lean and Tony Suit's flashlight, which dealt 1 million damage. He had a lot of health, so we had to put up a big fight as we protected the MFA and dealt with the shiggler's goons. Scarface from Scarface was making sure to manually repeat Push It to the Limit from Crack Life because the loop button was not audio files quality. After what felt like an eternity in the Eternal Fort, we BTFO saw Slumpus Lorne and he released the Grand Star, which allowed us to save Peach in the TRTF3 MFA. He said one last thing before being cast back into the fake lobby. "Juan, I will get you for this and I will never let you into the Luminance Game Jolt account." It was very scary and I rated 0-10 because he did not let me into Luminance Game Jolt to Juan post. So then we saved Princess Peach and she invited us to her LAN party so we could play Quake 4 and save TRTF3. We took over the Eternal Fort and cleaned up the poop smears with concentrated Alien Lean and went back to the altered castle grounds because Peach is retarded and picked the wrong level, but it was okay because all the castles take you to Beta Lobby, which leads to Beta Lobby. Deebsa is awesome and swag and is the best Beta Lobby. Me and Cerno from Inland and Pillar John from Pizza Tower and Pepino from Pizza Tower and Roger Waters from The Final Cut and Donnie from Razes 2 and Goivan from The Uncanny Courtyard and Tony Suit from 6 Horrors 4 and William from The Air Exchange and Andrew Nocturnal from 5 Naughty played Quake 4 with Princess Peach and it was awesome. Overall I give build 3313 a 10/10 because it was so awesome and swag and scary and awesome because we defeated the poop shiggler and made Super Alien Lean and smoked normal Alien Lean with Peach. Don't forget to subscribe for more reviews and follow the Return to Freddy's Windows XP edition and Oblides Casa so Slumplord can remember how to code the eye.
You know guys, I'm thinking I really like Tubbyland.
Shut